Frida Prempeh is the new Sanitation and Water Resources Minister, replacing Cecilia Abena-Dapaah. A call to Russia to remain in the grain deal that facilitates the export of grains from Ukraine to other parts of the world. Mid-year budget review presentation postponed to Monday, July 31. 7-member special parliamentary committee in place to investigate leak tape alleging the removal of the IGP. EOCO and MTN collaborate to protect the public against fraud in both the physical and digital space. And Nigeria to recover 150 million euros from former politician James Ibori and his accomplices.
Good evening and good to have you join us for news at 7. We're live on GBC News and GTV. My name is Clara Mlanu.
And I am Samuela Korte. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Jonathan Itimdaku is here to translate the news into sign language. Good evening.
To a first story. President Akufo-Addo has appointed Madam Frida Prempeh as the new Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources with immediate effect. She takes over from Madam Cecilia Abena-Dapaah, who resigned from her position on Saturday, July 22, 2023, following a controversial alleged $1 million theft by her domestic workers. Until her appointment, Madam Frida Prempeh was a Minister of State at the Office of the President.
She is also the Member of Parliament for Tano North. In a statement signed by the Director of Communications at the Office of the President, Mr. Eugene Ahin, the President has reshuffled a Deputy Minister of Roads and Highways, Ms. Mavis Nkanta Boydu, to a Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration position, while Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Mr. Thomas Mbobak, becomes the Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways. Both appointments take effect immediately.
Whilst in Rome, President Akufo-Addo appealed to Russia to rescind her decision to pull out of the grain deal that facilitates the export of grains from Ukraine to other parts of the world.
Nana Akufo-Addo says it will lead to food price increases. Speaking in Rome at the ECAM Council Summit, President Akufo-Addo said Ghana will soon roll out the second phase of the Planting for Food and Jobs program to bolster food security.
The of the Qatari delegation Accra is a follow-up on a visit by President Akufo-Addo to the Gulf state a couple of months ago. Strengthening Africa's food system was high on the agenda of the just-ended 4th ECAM summit in Rome. Kamal Gribi is the founder of the European Council on Africa and the Middle East, ECAM.
I believe Africa deserves better. I believe because Africa in Europe can do much together. Then I say if you have the high tech, then you have the skills, then you need the finance. So then this is why we say Europe, Africa and Middle East. Together we can bind, we can create a partnership, even for a moment of thought, what is the next we can do?
The 4th ECAM Council Summit discussed food security, the necessity for increased domestic production, and opened a conversation on the changes necessary today for a prosperous planet tomorrow. Trade disruption caused by global shocks such as COVID-19, Russia invasion of Ukraine, and climate change has upended global market, spiking inflation to record levels in both developed and developing countries. and to President Akufo-Addo to ensure that bullets fired on the battlefield in Ukraine are not felt in the pocket of people in Africa, and appeal to Russia to rescind its decision to pull out of the UN-backed grain deal is the best way to go.
Indeed, the recent decision of Russia not to renew the agreement for the Black Sea export of Ukrainian grain can only worsen further this situation. And Ghana will use the opportunity of this platform to call on Russia, a friend of our nation since independence, to review this decision.
President Akufo-Addo announced that Ghana will soon roll out the second phase of the Planting for Food and Jobs program to build buffers against shocks witnessed in the global market, which sparked inflation to record levels.
After 6 years of successful implementation, which has strengthened food security and resilience, the program has come up for review and is transitioning into a second phase, which we call PFJ Phase 2. This phase will be expanded to achieve private sector participation with emphasis on value chain development. It is also a paradigm shift from import subsidy to an input credit scheme. It is designed to attract more investment in the agricultural sector and is expected to increase productivity and production, expand strategic reserves, boost agriculture financing and access to market, establish stronger linkage to industry, and open up opportunities for greater participation of the youth in agriculture.
The fourth ECM summit was held on the sidelines of the coordination hub of the UN Food Systems stock-taking movement in Rome.
A delegation from Qatar is in Accra to explore potential areas of investment. Meeting with President Akufo-Addo at the Jubilee House, the seat of government, the CEO of Qatar Investment Authority for Africa and Asia, Sheikh Faisal Al Thani, said the areas of possible cooperation are tourism, infrastructure, mining, and finance.
The Qatari delegation in Accra is a follow-up on a visit by President Akufo-Addo to the Gulf state a couple of months ago. Accra and Doha have had cordial relations and ready to take their ties and not higher in trade and investment.
Sultan is from my office. We have unfortunately left the majority of the delegation with their counterparts to continue the conversations while
we are very interested in developing strong relations, both political and economic, with Qatar. We made it clear in many ways that we desire their proximity. So having you here, I think is an important first step for us to see what are the opportunities that would interest you and what would be the opportunities that we would like to push with you.
Also at the Jubilee House was Israel's Foreign Minister Eli Cohen, describing his visit to Accra as historic, being his first to Africa since he became Israel's top diplomat in 2022.
I also would like to thank you, Your Excellency, for your support of Israel in regarding our observer status in the African Union. I also would like to thank you for abstaining last year on the ICG vote. We see that the relations between our countries is very strong, and my wishful is that we will be able to coordinate even more before any important votes in the UN and in the African Union as well.
President Akufo-Addo recounted a strong bond between Ghana and Israel, which saw Accra being the first in Africa to recognize the independence of Israel in 1958.
I am extremely interested in the whole process of water management. All of us know that water has the potential to be one of the big issues of conflict in the years ahead of us. And I think a country like yours, which is a country living in the midst of a desert, but which has found the formula, the technique, the technology for being able to harness water for productive purposes as well as for individual consumption. There's a lot there that we can learn from.
There are 8 major Israeli companies, including Dizengoff, doing business in Ghana, employing hundreds of Ghanaians. Edward Nyako, reporting for GBC News.
We now go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has dismissed a review application by James Gyakye Quayson for the court to review its earlier decision annulling his election as MP for Asin North. The Apex Court on May 17, 2023 declared the election of Mr. Quayson as MP in the 2020 election as unconstitutional and ordered Parliament to expunge his name from its records. Mr. Michael Ankuma Nimfa, a resident of Asin Breku, brought the suit against Mr. Quayson. The court held that at the time Mr. Quayson filed his nomination forms to contest as an MP, he did not qualify because he held dual citizenship. 17th decision by the Supreme Court, James Gyakye Quayson filed for a review of the court's decision, arguing that it constituted serious errors of law. It was the submission of Mr. Chachu Chikata, lawyer for the MP, that the court's judgment constituted fundamental and basic errors of law which justified an exercise of its power of review as provided by the Constitution. Per his argument, the nature of those errors formed extremely serious issues. Mr. Chikata said the order to expunge the name of his client from parliamentary records was made without giving him a hearing as demanded by the rule of natural justice. He further submitted that the Supreme Court misrepresented the previous decisions and made reference to its judgment, which must not be taken lightly. The Attorney General, Mr. Godfred Yeboah-Adame, opposed the review application. He argued that the applicant failed to demonstrate any fundamental or basic error of law committed by the Supreme Court under Article 2(2) of the 1992 Constitution. He made the case that it was totally inappropriate for Mr. Chikata to state that the Supreme Court misrepresented a previous judgment and thereby set it down as grounds for review, describing the action by Mr. Chachu Chikata as improper in that regard. The Attorney General urged the court to dismiss the application on grounds that it was frivolous and did not satisfy the threshold for review application. Lawyer for Mr. Ankuma Nimfa, Mr. Frank Davis, agreed with the submission by the Attorney General to dismiss the review application.
Trades and Industry Minister Mr. K.T. Hammond on Monday held bilateral discussions with the Mayor of Houston, Mr. Sylvester Turner. The meeting at his office in Accra centered on increasing trade volumes between Accra and Houston. Mr. Turner said his team, made up of about 30 businessmen, are interested in investing in strategic sectors such as trade, industry, energy, and healthcare.
Mr. Sylvester Turner's trade mission to Ghana is seen as a pivotal opportunity to nurture existing relationships, forge new partnerships, and deepen cultural exchanges between Houston and Accra. This is the mayor's second trip to the continent of Africa after his first to South Africa in 2016. This trip, among others, focuses on broad areas such as finding new economic opportunities for Houston companies in Africa and also for opportunities for African companies to do business in Houston and how Houston and Accra can grow their cultural and civic engagements. At the meeting, it came up that trade volumes between Accra and Houston in 2022 was $293 million, a level both sides believe must be increased. Mr. K.T. Hammond and Mr. Turner agreed to put a structure in place to set the tone for a strong collaboration to promote their trade and investment.
We are here to build on the relationship and at the same time to try to come up with some specific action items that people can see the success of this mutual relationship. And so we have been talking about putting forth and building some small working groups between Ghana and the city of Houston so that we can work on these areas of interest, whether they're in healthcare, energy, innovation, exchange programs.
Mr. K.T. Hammond said his ministry is welcoming Houston businesses that want to establish outlets in Ghana.
Any country which are developed, your countries, Western world, they have developed on the back of industrialization. we should be trying to copy, at least to the extent that we could, within the confines of our circumstances and our resources. We should try and to do something. It needs the help of some of you, and it doesn't get bigger than yourself and your city.
On the mayor's team is the vice mayor of Houston and players in the renewable energy, healthcare, port authority and aviation sectors. It's still news right here on GBC News and on GT. Remember, you're streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. The Ministry of Food and Agriculture and KOICA have trained 20 agric extension officers to enhance rice production in the central region. The training is part of the Rice Value Chain Enhancement Project, a collaboration between Ghana and South Korea to strengthen and build the capacity of smaller rice farmers in the central region.
The participants were from 5 districts of the central region, namely Asin North and South, Chifu Etimokwa, Ochirekun, Asin Fusu and Gomoa East. They were trained in rice processing and packaging improvement, increasing rice production, a strengthening of the officers' capacity to retrain rice farmers under their jurisdiction in their various districts. The training of the trainers workshop brought together experts in crop science from Korea and Ghana to achieve best results in rice production in the central region. The project coordinator, Dr. Kim, took the trainers in theories and practical at Ochirekun demonstration farm.
The moisture content of the grain for the milling. So we adjust. Usually for milling, we adjust around 14%. If you have the grain moisture with 14%, we will have less broken rice with good quality of milled rice. That's why the control of grain moisture is important.
The Chief Executive Officer of Brenda Service Group, one of the implementing partners, Mr. Benjamin Edusa, assured Ghanaians of Central Region's readiness to feed the entire nation in the near future. The expert in crop science from the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Delia Fianyo, appealed to the government to intensify rice production through funding.
The government can even help out, push the central bank to even at least give out loans at lesser interest. But we went to Korea because of this project. Their loans are as little as 7%, since we have decentralization, where the district assemblies can be giving out loans and the farmers pay back to the district assembly with just even a little percent.
The participants were thankful to the organizers for the training and pledged to support farmers with the knowledge acquired.
Sadell College at Cape Coast in the central region have suspended the alleged culprit who was seen in a viral video bullying his colleague student at the dormitory. According to GBC News' central regional correspondent Kingsley Nana Buedu, the culprit has been dismissed while the victim has been sent home for treatment and will report later to the school with his parents to write his examinations. Other students who were present during the acts will also face internal disciplinary actions.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Education Service, in a statement signed by the head of public relations, Madam Cassandra Chum Ampofo, condemned the incident as a barbaric act of violence. The statement said, the GES deems acts of violence within schools as entirely unacceptable and harmful to students' well-being, and it remains steadfast in ensuring a safe and secure learning environment for all students nationwide. In a collaborative approach, the GES has instructed the Regional Director of Education to closely cooperate with both the school authorities and relevant law enforcement agencies to ascertain the truth behind the incident and implement appropriate measures in accordance with the law. The service also reaffirmed its decision to fostering an environment where every student can learn and grow without fear of violence or intimidation. The video, which has been widely circulated on social media, has ignited public outrage and raised concerns about the safety of students within educational institutions across the country.
Children all over the world are embracing artificial intelligence, with many being innovative in the area of robotics. In Ghana, the growing interest of children in AI has birthed the creation of innovative tools and ideas to make the world of work easier.
The global AI boom could grow from about $137 billion in 2022 to more than $1.81 trillion by 2030. The global AI software market is also expected to grow approximately 54% year on year. In a rapidly changing world where advancements in technology such as artificial intelligence is transforming all aspects of living, the move by students is seen as a watershed to propel innovation in schools. The director of Crystal Heights International School, Mr. Emmanuel Enchi, said to effectively navigate the future through technology and innovation, Ghanaians must envisage knowledge, skills and critical thinking abilities as necessary to excel in an evolving world.
I urge you to embrace every opportunity with courage and resilience, knowing that you are equipped with the knowledge and skills to navigate the future successfully. Graduation is not an end point, but a stepping stone to greater heights. The world awaits your talents, aspirations, and dreams. So let your ambitions soar, your hearts remain kind, and your actions be a force for good in the world.
Worldwide, jobs in the STEM field are the fastest growing careers and are projected to grow another 17% in the next decade, with the drone industry growing dramatically and rapidly in the last couple of years. As technology has become increasingly pervasive, digital literacy, especially amongst children, is no longer a luxury but a necessity to propel economic growth.
Let's now go to Parliament, where the mid-year budget review by the Finance Minister, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, has been postponed to Monday, July 31. The Finance Minister was earlier scheduled to present the budget review on Tuesday, July 25. The Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Alban Bagbin, communicated this during sitting on Tuesday, adding that the Finance Minister would engage in an intensive meeting with the MPs on Friday, July 28, 2023. Meanwhile, Parliament will not sit tomorrow, Wednesday, July 26, 2023, due to a very important national assignment.
We have a very important national event hosted by our partners in the church, and from His Excellency through my good self to the Chief Justice, the former presidents, some ministers, and all the important authorities in the country will have to convene to look at a very critical national agenda. In view of that, a number of members of Parliament are compulsorily to be present. And so we will not sit tomorrow. We will sit on Thursday. And on Friday, the Minister of Finance will be available to hold intensive meeting with members of Parliament.
to probe a leaked tape involving an alleged plan to remove the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akuffo-Dampare, from office in an alleged attempt to manipulate the 2024 general elections. 6 MPs, 3 from each side of the House, have been named to make up the 7-member committee. The Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Alban Bagbin, has also named a lawyer and human rights expert, Dr. Lartey Annan, as the technical person to be part of the committee. MP for Ebuakwa South, Mr. Samuel Atachia, as chairman of the committee. This move is in response to a demand by the Minority Caucus, who called for an in-depth probe to determine the authenticity and credibility of the leaked tape.
I take it that because we are going on recess and a week is rather on the low side, we could call on the committee to do on a thorough job and to report when we return. I will specifically state that the committee should submit a report by the 10th of September.
Mr. Speaker, that's okay with us. Our side, we are okay. That's ample time for the committee to do a thorough job.
Mr. Speaker, I think the better arrangement would be for us, for you to insist that it should be submitted maybe within the first week upon resumption. I think that will be better.
I particularly will take interest in this matter and make sure that it is well done for your consideration. The decisions are to be taken by you, not by me. But at least we should submit a good report to you. The special committee will be chaired by Honorable Ata Achia, and with him from the majority side are Honorable Yaobuama and Honorable Ophelia Mensah. On the minority side, we have the Vice Chair, Honorable James Agalga, and with him are Honorable Eric Opoku and Honorable Peter Lanchine Tubu. The technical person is a lawyer, a human rights expert, in the name of Dr. Isaac Lartey Annan. He will be the 7th person to anchor the investigations of the committee. The clerk will definitely be there to support the work of the committee of the Secretariat.
We take a quick break. Please don't go away.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
Today's class is going to be an exciting one. Now, who can share an unforgettable moment in their life? Okay, Asempa.
I'd like to talk about my first time. It was her natural look, complemented by her favorite green silky apparel that caught my attention. I have to say, she automatically possessed me with her smile, which exposed her beautiful white teeth. That's not all. Her enduring signature perfume could be smelled from afar. Madam, why do you look so surprised? My first time with her was special and irresistible. I'm talking about Cindy Rice. Cindy Rice can be found in selected supermarkets nationwide.
Everybody loves Cindy Rice.
Cindy
rice, sweet aroma, great taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
Abofra bia hia nyina so a ode benyi odomo apomodimo ene akokodromo eti na wo se yetu anamo ebema ye manadi ye dache. Early childhood development ye kwanya ye faso de titi ye mofra ntem ewo se ye wow pe mehweso afa me SP inu nyina abra menyem na madene hu afi malaria. Mehweso ama me banu funso nkoa abosumi sia edikan eno nkoa ne aduane ne insu a ohia onya abosumi nso a mema me banu aduane a ahoden wom ene dudu a ohia na aboa ma me banu anyi pepepe mekoso a de me banu ko ama ya bobɔ ne mpane na ya soso ne nom ama na nya baiba emu ode mekoso de odo atete me ba owo ne padua mu sinto na mama no akwanya abofra bia hia mehwesa me ba ne be hye adesua sentem na ne daachi ewie ne peye mehwesa me ba ne foma metne no odo kwan so menya na hai na me kpɔ ne ho ban abrenyina meta me pampu to achintem pa fenin collaborate enti won so yenesa
88 at 88. It's raining great goodies and value all over Ghana. GBC is 88 years old, and for every business you do on any GBC platform in anniversary month of July, you get 88% extra value. 88 at 88. Do business with us from the 1st to the 31st July 2023 and get extra 88% bonus all over GBC platforms. The benefits are valid till September 30, 2023. 88 at 88. Love the new GBC. Terms and conditions apply. Contact us on 0303 959 604 or 0303 959 605 and to buy email sales at gbcghanaonline.com. 88 at 88.
Live coverage of the 57th International Convention of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community. Join us for this unique event founded on true Islamic principles. A truly international event, uniting mankind under the banner of peace, love and harmony. Tune in for the live coverage of Jalsa Salana UK 2023, the annual convention of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community. Watch live coverage on the 28th, 29th and 30th July 2023 at the following times.
You're welcome back. Now let's talk business. Business is brought to you by MTN. MTN is everywhere you go. The banking industry's capital adequacy ratio, an indicator of how well the banks can meet their obligations, declined by 5 percentage points from 14.8% in April to 14.3% in June. Year on year, the figure went down 5.1% from 19.4% in June 2022 to 14.3% in June 2023. Despite the decline, the 14.3% CAR is higher than the revised prudential minimum of 10%. The decline in the CAR is explained by the losses on mark-to-market investments from the DDEP, as well as the increase in the risk-weighted assets of banks.
From a decline in capital adequacy ratio and an increase in non-performing loans, the banking sector, according to the Bank of Ghana, remains sound following a year of losses 2022. The banking industry's investment increased sharply, supported by significant growth in deposits. Total investment rose to 89.9 billion in June 2023 from 81 billion in June 2022. The banking sector's profitability improved in the first half of 2023. Net interest income increased by 41.4% to 9.9 billion, relative to the increase of 12.4% recorded a year ago. Net fees and commissions also grew 30.6% to 2.2 billion, compared with 27% over the same period last year.
The net effect of these developments was a 51.2% increase in profit before tax in June 2023, compared with 20.8% growth in June 2022. The industry's profit after tax stood at 4.3 billion Ghana cedis, up from 2.8 billion Ghana cedis, and representing a 51.4% increase. The strong profitability performance during the first half of the year translated into a higher return on equity of 37.6% from 21.9% in June 2022.
Despite the sharp increase in profitability, the industry's capital adequacy ratio for June 2023 stood at 14.4%. This is higher than the revised prudential minimum of 10%, but lower than the CAR of 19.4% recorded in June 2022. The decline in CAR is explained by losses on market-to-market investment from the DDEP, as well as the increase in the risk-weighted assets of banks. Furthermore, the industry's non-performing loan ratio deteriorated to 18.7% in June 2023 from 14.1% in June 2022, reflecting higher loan impairment and elevated credit risks.
The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, says one of the factors considered in hiking the policy rate to 30% was aimed at checking capital outflow. The European Central Bank, that is ECB, and U.S. Federal Reserve are expected to hike interest rates as inflation remains sticky in the Eurozone, and the U.S. analysts say the Fed could raise interest rates from near zero levels to a range of 5.25% to 5.5%, while the ECB will jack interest rates to 3.75%.
Hike similar to the hike that we have just announced, that should mean that the interest differential between Ghana, hopefully, and the US should remain unchanged. And if there is any incentive for a capital outflow, the fact that we have tightened policy here, we should help to mitigate that capital outflow from Ghana. But it tells you the times that we are in. Globally, everybody is putting priority on bringing inflation down to low levels, and all the major central banks of the world, whether it's the US Fed, whether it's the European Central Bank, whether it's the Bank of England, they are all focusing on bringing inflation down. This is where everybody is focused on.
The Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, has entered into agreement with MTN on online security matters. Tuesday's Memorandum of Understanding in Accra means the two will collaborate to protect the public against fraud in both the physical and digital space. As part of the agreement, MTN will develop training content to equip both staff, including security agencies, with the requisite skills to deal with the situation. EOCO says the agreement is laudable and called on the media to do more to educate the public to achieve the aim. EOCO again advised the public to first report incidents or suspected crime to the law enforcement agencies for quick response. EOCO boss COP Mamiya Tiwa Adodankwa said the officers are always high on alert and monitor every move of perpetrators.
Through collaboration with MTN, with the Bankers Association and other things, we're able to make arrests, and we went through the judicial processes and thank God they've been convicted. And that should send a signal to everybody that it's not something that you can do and get away with that. So today, our meeting here and signing of this MOU is a new phase, a phase that is going to collaborate. We are going to collaborate with you and also to help us to stay ahead of economic and organized crime.
MTN says the agreement follows a series of engagements with EAOCO on how to protect the public, which is good news to MTN.
Even though we saw a very slight increase in the number of incidents that were reported between 2022 and 2021, the value of what has been lost through mobile money has increased quite significantly. The report suggests around 26 million Ghana cedi.
The two are working hard to eliminate crime or reduce it to its barest minimum. We now bring you the Interbank and Commodity Board for the day. That was business brought to you by MTN. Energy News is up next. Please stay.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302-200-390 or 059-692-0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
Up, 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 up. Forward, forward, forward. Up, up, forward, forward. Hey!
Hey, let's see what they are by you.
Hey, driver, who go on quiet day? Danero.
What is say? Something seeing is believing. Where you the latest, the freshest, the strongest Sumo Super from Polytank, Africa's first ever 3-layered water tank of its kind,
giving you great strength, greater lifespan, and the best price ever. Polytank, trusted by generations.
I'm not blaming you for sleeping with another woman.
You threw me out of your house because I slept with your friend.
I'm not angry either, at least not anymore.
Did she put a knife to your throat and forced you to have sex with her?
I just feel pain.
Please don't ask me if I'm okay, because clearly I'm not.
I mean, my life was perfect.
Thinking of you makes me happy.
And then you came along and you just wrote it all down to hell.
I'm getting very tired of your little zingers that I am the uncompromising one. You know what, let's just lay it out on the table and get it finished once and for all.
You know one bad thing about being in love, Joe? Is that it makes you vulnerable. It opens up your chest, it opens up your heart, which in turn makes it easy for someone to get inside and mess it up.
Blurred Lines, coming soon to GTV.
88 at 88. It's raining great goodies and value all over Ghana. GBC is 88 years old, and for every business you do on any GBC platform in anniversary month of July, you get 88% extra value. 88 and 88. Do business with us from the 1st to the 31st July 2023 and get extra 88% bonus all over GBC platforms. The benefits are valid till September 30, 2023. 88 and 88. Love them new GBC. Terms and conditions apply. Contact us on 0303 959 604 or 0303 959 605 and to buy email sales@gbcghanaonline.com. 88 and 88.
Live coverage of the 57th International Convention of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community. Join us for this unique event founded on true Islamic principles. A truly international event, uniting mankind under the banner of peace, love and harmony. Tune in for the live coverage of Jalsa Salana UK 2023, the annual convention of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community. Watch live coverage on the 28th, 29th and 30th July 2023 at the following times.
Good evening and welcome to the Energy segment. My name is Dominic Noji. The National Petroleum Authority, NPA, has lauded the security agencies for assisting in reducing the incidence of fuel smuggling in the Upper East region. At a media engagement in Bolgatanga, the regional manager of NPA, Mr. Bashiru Natongma, commended the law enforcement agencies for the collaboration. Fuel smuggling is a major challenge in the petroleum downstream sector. The smugglers transport the fuel to neighboring countries without authorization. The Upper East Regional Manager of NPA, Mr. Bashiru Natongma, said there are a number of unapproved routes in the region where smugglers use at odd hours to transport the products.
Yes. Sometimes people bring in the products and then take it to the consumers, and sometimes the consumers are not even aware that the product they are giving them is a bad product. So our collaboration with the security agencies, together with our own stringent measures put in place in town, has really helped us to combat this menace.
Mr. Natongma also commended the Chief Executive of the NPA, Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid, for initiating the measures to curb the menace.
He is determined to sanitize the industry, and we are here to implement his vision to ensure we work to accomplish his vision of sanitizing the industry, and we are doing just that.
Head of planning at the NPA, Dominic Abuaji, said Ghana only refines 20% of its daily fuel needs and assured the public that there will be no shortage of fuel in the country. He entreated the media to support the fight against fuel smuggling. Still on fuel issues, the NPA is assuring petroleum consumers of the availability of fuel at a relatively stable price for the rest of the year. The head of planning at the NPA, Mr. Dominic Abuaji, who gave the assurance at a media engagement in Tamale, said adequate measures have been put in place to avoid disruption in fuel supply despite challenges in Europe as a result of Russia-Ukraine war. Mr. Abuaji said there is no cause for alarm.
Ghana finds itself in an import situation where we import most of the petroleum products consumed in the country. And in fact, the region where we predominantly get our products from is Europe. And Europe is also a continent that sources a lot of its products from Russia. And so with the invasion and the sanctions that were imposed on Russia, obviously it was going to pose a threat to supply to Europe. And of course, which will have a ripple effect on supplies to countries in Africa like Ghana. A number of measures have been put in place. Now, to ensure fuel comes into the country, certain conditions that need to be in place. The NPA, together with Bank of Ghana, the Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Finance. We saw the introduction of special auctions by the Bank of Ghana to ensure that they were able to provide forex to the oil market so that supplies could be sustained. Now we've seen also the Gold for Oil program that was also introduced by the government, also to bring some stability and also to ensure full availability. But fortunately for Ghana, we've seen how we've been able to ensure we've had full availability in the country to ensure consumers at any point in time have fuel at the pumps, because you know fuel of course drives the economy. So when there's no fuel, everything comes to a standstill, or it grinds the economy to a halt.
Total national power generation was 56.4770 gigawatt hours within the last 24 hours. Here are some key national statistics on electricity generation within the last 24 hours. That's it for the energy segment. My name is Dominic Hoji.
The show was a jar of bar and unconquered dim.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria? Lufat.
Injija woman malaria and kawon to them. Lufat, malaria drop a cope.
And now you may kiss.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And I Lufat. Lufat, a two malaria sententem. FDA agitated in Kratway at
Welcome to the health segment. Cerebral Palsy Ghana, an advocacy group for children with cerebral palsy and their parents, are appealing to the government to turn their attention to their plight. They claim incessant appeals to the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection has not yielded any results. At a routine clinic and day out for children with cerebral palsy, they recalled how they are discriminated against without access to education and health care, and also looked down upon by society. A report by Sarah Ofori.
Parents are already at their wits' end because their spouses have abandoned them and are barely surviving.
To take care of this CP child, because akolai papa ejame ho, ejani jame because of akolani condition. And my main can be bread away, sir. To say, near me cousin be an air boy. Nah, she said, oh, how me a mania, Sinebaya met media Colawe Hospital Crampo for medical attendance Crampo, no, mean to me.
Every now and then, Cerebral Palsy Ghana, with support from corporate organizations, holds free clinics. At these clinics, the parents learn more about their health, nutrition, and keeping up with the children.
It's a whole amazing hotel. In fact, Yamisha and Busanina. Oh no, host here. For the past 6 years, make us a COVID-19 anti-media clinic. Into clinic now for the fourth one, oh no, host here. Be at least everything.
They bewailed the seeming neglect by government and how they have had to struggle nurturing their children.
We've always taken our letters to the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, and they have never looked to our direction. Their parents have locked their children in their rooms. They can't take them to public places. We are asking diaper companies to come and join us. Some of the children are about 15 years, 16 years, having their menses, going, doing everything in their diapers, and their parents are still providing. Some are even using rags, which are giving the children infection.
As they advocate for social inclusion, they further called on government to consider the special needs of children with cerebral palsy in the educational curricula.
And on the foreign front, a British court has ordered a former politician, James Ibori, and his accomplices convicted of fraud and money laundering to return 150 million euros to Nigeria. He had been convicted after pleading guilty in a 50 million euro fraud case. In a statement by Britain's crime agency following a forfeiture hearing at Southwark Crown Court in London, a judge ordered him to repay more than 101.5 million euro. If he does not pay his dues, he faces an additional 8 years in prison. His UK-based lawyer, Bradesh Babulal Gohil, who had been sentenced to 10 years in prison, was meanwhile ordered to repay more than 28 million euros. He has 6 months to remit this sum, failing which he risked 6 years in prison. According to the NCA, the investigation found that the money had been laundered by his UK-based lawyer through a myriad of offshore companies.
Good evening, let's talk sports. I am Theophilus Sampato Hockey. GRA ladies are winners of this year's Greater Accra Safoda Hockey League in the women's division with a game to spare. They have sealed their qualification to the upcoming Africa Hockey Club Championship after beating Ghana Army by 2-0 in their penultimate match played at the weekend. The penultimate matches in the ongoing Greater Accra Safoda Hockey League took place at the National Hockey Pitch, the Theodosia Okum Stadium. The highlight on the day in the women's division was the clash between Ghana Army ladies in the white jersey and GRA ladies. A win for GRA will mean they will be crowned champions with a game to spare, whilst a draw or defeat will mean they have to win at all costs against their final opponent, the Ghana Police ladies. The end-to-end action saw both sides create loads of goal-scoring opportunities. However, it was GRA that were clinical up front, scoring 2 goals to carry the day by 2-0. Here are reactions from the two coaches.
We knew that if we are able to beat them, then the league is for us. So we play as a final match, and normally final matches you have to play above yourself, and this is what they did. They played above themselves. We could have scored more goals. We had a lot of penalty corners, and then we had open chances. But of course, if the more we create chances, by all means, there's the likelihood that we'll get some in there. So that is what exactly happened.
They were playing to win. That is all the mentality that we brought here this afternoon. But it's rather unfortunate that it couldn't work. We'll go back to the drawing board and see what we can do to win the last match, at least.
Captain of GRA, Elizabeth Opoku, said they have more work to do before the Africa Club Championship.
We were playing according to the tactics and the formation our coach gave us. As you saw, we had to win this match to be crowned the champions of this year's league. So our talk was we had to win, and I'm sure we delivered. Personally, I missed a lot of chances, but we should have scored more than 3. But to improve upon our next match, we have one more game to play against Police, so we'll make the necessary corrections and we'll make it happen on the pitch on the 5th of August.
Here are the standings of the teams. GRA are leading with 17 points. Police Ladies are second with 13 points. Reformers are third with 11 points. Army are fourth with 8 points. And Extinguishers are fifth with no point. The Greater Accra Safoda Hockey League continues this weekend with the final round of matches.
Congratulations to the GRA ladies. And it's a wrap on news. My name is Clara Lamy.
And I am Samuela Kwoti. Jonathan Intimdako translated the news into sign language. Have a good evening.
Good evening.